Hey guys, Melanie here, aka Mommy, and I just wanted to come on and do a quick video, if I can make it quick, about something that is really important to me, and it's just a word of encouragement to any moms who might be just starting out breastfeeding. I just want to give you a really quick little history about my experience. I have 4 children. I have breastfed all 4 of my children, but my first child, I was only able to breastfeed her for, I think, about 2 months. And the reason for that is because at the time I was young. I was unfortunately a single mom, and I had to go back to work 4 weeks after I had her. That's all the maternity leave that I had. And that first 4 weeks that I had her, everything went great. We both learned together really well. And then I went back to work and I tried to pump. She went to daycare. I pumped while I was at work. I breastfed her in the mornings. I breastfed her at night before, when I got off work and before she would go to bed. But very quickly, my supply just ran out and I couldn't keep up with her, and so I had to switch her to formula, and I was really disappointed about that, but you have to do what you have to do. So my second child, I also breastfed, but again, this time I had 6 weeks maternity leave with her, and I was determined that I was going to do the best job that I could for her. And so I breastfed her for the first 6 weeks of her life, and then I believe that I was able to again nurse her for excuse me, at least another, I want to say, month after I went back to work. Same thing. I could not pump enough to keep up with what she needed during the day, and I didn't have a job where I could go and feed her on my lunch break or anything like that. She needed more than I could make, and so eventually I had to stop nursing her. It was hard for me that time too. It was a little easier than the first time because my first daughter at that point, she had ended up being a formula fed baby, and she was fine. So now this was the second time that I had to switch, and I just chalked it up to, it is what it is. I have to go to work and she's gonna be fine. So my third child, my hair is blowing all over the place, I'm so sorry. My third child was my son, and when I had my son, I was a stay-at-home mom. It was just me and him, and so I was able to nurse him. And when he was 4 months old, I ended up going out of town for, I think it was 4 days and 3 nights or something like that. I had pumped enough milk to last him the time that I was going to be gone. His dad stayed home with him while I was gone. I went to a business convention type thing, and while I was at this convention, I pumped while I was there too. So I came home, I thought, yes, everything's gonna be good. He's had breast milk the whole time I've been gone, and I've been pumping. We can just pick right back up where we left off, and it's gonna be great. No such luck. I came home, and he was so used to, within just a few days, he was so used to getting breast milk from a bottle that he no longer wanted to work for it to get it from me. So I was able to nurse. It was a struggle. I fought with him, trying to get him to latch on and to nurse. He just didn't want to. He wanted a bottle. So I tried to pump. I said, okay, if he wants a bottle, that's fine. I'll give him a bottle, but I'll just pump and he'll still get breast milk. That pumping has always been difficult for me. I know women, personally, I know women who pump like 8 ounces like every couple of hours. I was lucky if I could get 2 or 3. I tried better pumps. I tried pumping more frequently. It's just never really been that easy for me to pump and get, good results. So probably when he was about 5 months old, I think he was about 5 months old, I ran out of milk. I couldn't keep up with him because he would not latch on. He would not nurse anymore. I cried when he stopped nursing. I was heartbroken because I felt like I had tried. I did everything right and it just didn't work. So now I have my fourth child who just turned 1 last week. And I am so happy and excited and proud to say that we did it. We breastfed the entire first year. And it wasn't easy. It made a huge difference that I was able to be a stay-at-home mom the entire year. I basically fed on demand the entire year. I pumped a couple of times, maybe during the first couple of months I tried pumping. But again, I remember one specific day I pumped on both sides and got 4 ounces, and I was over the moon happy. Pumping is just, it's never something that really was very fruitful for me. So I was an on-demand feeder. I'm doing this constantly, and I'm so sorry, but I've got my ceiling fan on and it's blowing my hair right in my face. It itches. It was hard. There were so many times that I wanted to give up, but it meant enough to me to not give up. Of course, anyone who has breastfed knows in the beginning, it downright hurts. Makes your toes curl, and it made me hold my breath. It hurts. No matter how many children you've breastfed, it hurts. But you tell yourself that it won't hurt forever, it will get easier. And so you push through. At about 4 months, my supply went down. And her sleeping schedule got all weird about that same time too. She went through, I guess, what's called the 4-month sleep regression. And she wasn't sleeping anymore. And my milk I felt like my supply was going down. And I started freaking out. I started taking supplements to try to boost my milk supply. Don't touch the camera, okay, sweetie? And I just kept persevering. I kept pushing through, kept thinking, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. I nursed her as often as she would let me, just so that I would not lose my supply. 6 months into it, it was still kind of hard because she wasn't sleeping through the night yet. You know, she was still waking up several times a night, but I was determined. I said, we're going to get through this. It probably wasn't until she was about 8 months old that I feel like it got easier. Now, that is not the same for everyone. That's just how it was for us. And I really believe it's because she did not come even close to sleeping through the night until she was 8 months old. Until then, she was still waking up 2, 3, sometimes 4 times a night. And so it was really hard. But at 8 months, she started sleeping better. My milk was, at this point, really exactly what she needed. My body knows to make exactly what she needs, and I'm happy for that. At 12 months now, you know, we did it. We successfully nursed for an entire year. We're not going to
snack time.
Okay,
No,
we're not going to stop just yet. I don't know for sure when I am going to wean her. I'm kind of going to take my cue from her. I won't say, oh, I would never nurse my child to, 18 months, or I don't know. She may only want to nurse until she's, 14 months or 15 months. I have no idea. I don't know what's going to happen, but I know that I was able to give this to her for the first year, and I'm so happy to say that we persevered. One thing, I had a friend who was really struggling around about the same time that I was. You gonna sit with Mama? My sweaty boy. She was struggling with breastfeeding. She had a child just a couple of weeks before I did. And this was her first. And she was having a hard time with it. And I gave her just a little bit of a thought that I had. And she said that it was really helpful to her. And so I thought that I would share it with you guys. And maybe if it can provide some encouragement to someone out there, then, that'll make me really happy. I personally am someone who believes in God. I'm a Christian. And so I believe that everything that happens in my life was predestined from the very beginning. And so I got to a point...
Battery's almost run down.
No, baby, it's okay. I got to a point where I was really frustrated in the middle of the night, and I was tired, and I felt like I could barely keep my eyes open. And the thought occurred to me one night as I was nursing my daughter that before she was ever born, there were basically a certain number of times that I was going to get to sit with her and nurse her and rock her to sleep and have that precious, precious time together. I don't know what that predestined number is, but I know that there's only a certain number of times. And every time that I would go into her room at night and nurse her and rock her and love her and have that special time, that was one more of those sessions that was going to be marked off that list. And eventually there weren't going to be any more to mark off. That was a very sobering effect, or thought to me. It really made me be able to sit and treasure those late night feedings, whereas before it really seemed a lot like a chore. But thinking about it in that way, thinking that one day she's going to be at a point where she no longer needs this from me and I'm going to be the one who misses it, it really makes you kind of enjoy it more. It makes you treasure it. It makes it something special, and it makes it so much easier to get through those long nights. So my word of encouragement to anyone who's struggling with breastfeeding is just, okay guys, so apparently when my son said, "Mom, your battery is about to die," he was right, because it did. But let me just finish real quickly what I was trying to say in this very long video that was supposed to be short. I apparently can't do short videos. Bear in mind, I'm home with kids all day. I need somebody to talk to. Anyway, my word of encouragement to moms out there who find themselves just struggling because you're so tired and you just don't know if you can make it through another feeding is remember that they're limited. You will not nurse this child forever, and when they're gone, they're gone. And if you're anything like me, you will miss them. And I know that there are some moms who cannot wait to be finished nursing. It's actually a chore, a job for them, and they don't enjoy it. They do it because they know that it's beneficial for their child, but it doesn't bring them any joy. That wasn't me. I enjoyed nursing my babies. And when it was over, I cried. After every single one, I cried. And I know that when Kyler finishes nursing, I'm going to cry. I don't know when that time is going to come. I hope that it's not any time in the immediate future, but when it happens, I know that I'm going to miss it, and I know that I'm going to be so sad. But I'll have things to look forward to, like her, learning to talk, and she already knows how to walk, but, her growing up and getting to enjoy that. I don't want to rush past this time. I want to enjoy it. I want to treasure it. I want to savor these moments, and I want to save them in my heart and in my mind as precious memories. So that is my word of encouragement to any mom out there who might be struggling with the breastfeeding. It's hard, but you know what? It's so worth it. There's not a single part of parenting that isn't hard, but when your child comes up to you and gives you a hug or says, "Mommy, I love you," or, tells you that you're special, it's worth it, and every parent knows that. This is just one of those things. Childbirth is really hard, and yet we keep having children. So, it's hard, but stick with it. You will not ever regret it. It's one of those things that I'm so glad that we got to experience. So that is what I have to share with you today. I hope that I was able to give some encouragement to someone out there who needs it. And yeah, so that's about it. I hope that you guys are very well and that you are all very blessed. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.